Hey friends, what's up? Kaz here. Welcome back to another server inventory or bucket spigot plugin tutorial. If you're joining for the first time, feel free to subscribe button because I do these every week. If you have a suggestion of one you'd like me to do, feel free to comment that in the gibbles below. That would be the comment section for you new people. And if you find this video helpful, please leave a like because that helps me out for helping you guys out. So, shout out for Galito El Cosito for letting me do this plugin. It is vastly requested by Anonymous Indonesia, Savur LOL, Skills Gaming HD, Muhammad Hadi, Pyro Kukla, Julius Brun Olsen, A Prison, Hunters HD, Marwan El Tawil, Rimu, Dark 9, Hardcore TV, and Hosky Gaming. And now I've kind of figured out why it's super popular in everything that is not, or everywhere that is not the US or American servers. This is basically like Skywars with like a twist. It's kind of like Skywars meets bedwars with some upgrade systems. So basically, each player has their own floating island. They have their own villager, which is like a shop, and then they have generators, which are generating material that they can use as coins. You know, like iron, gold, and diamond. They can upgrade those generators, and then they can buy tools, weapons, potions, that kind of stuff, and then they have an egg that they're protecting, and then they have to go to the other players or places and take out those eggs. So this is awesome. This plugin is super versatile, actually really easy to set up, but has a lot of customization to it, which is really great. It hooks into Deluxe Chat. It does do holograms if you install the EggWars lobby jar, but it doesn't support multiverse, so you need to use multi-world. I think this is the first plugin that I've ever used that does not support multiverse, so that's how it goes. Multi-world's pretty much the same thing. So if you do want to set it up on your bungeecord, you put your EggWars jar on each server. So now that is basically, that server is an arena. It has one world and one arena on it. And then you put your EggWars lobby.jar on the lobby server, and then you do EWS set Bungie lobby and then the server name in all arenas. So basically, then when they do EW lobby, it's gonna, or they die and the game's over, it teleports them back to that main server, and then you have to enable bungeecord or Bungie mode on all of the servers in the config file. Pretty easy and all that. So basically what you want to do, first thing you want to do is you want to do EWS set main lobby. And now we are just going to be doing the multi-arena, so it's all on one server kind of thing. And now you can do EW lobby, and it's going to teleport you. Never mind, it's not going to teleport you there. It does sometimes. If you have this issue, then you just need to restart your server after you've set up the lobby, and then it will teleport you to the correct location after that. So now you want to create your arena. So you want to do EWS create arena and then the name of it. So we're doing tutorial, and now that is going to create a new world in multi-world, and it's going to teleport you to that. So we're going to do, we have a scam load test. We have a very basic schematic here. A very, very basic load. But basically, you can follow the directions in here, which is really cool. So we want to set the lobby for this arena. So we're going to come up here. This is the lobby. Obviously, you're going to want to do a little bit better than this, but EWS set lobby tutorial, and that's the name of it right there. Then we want to set max players per team. EWS set max players per team tutorial, and then we'll just do 4. So then you want to do EWS set count down tutorial 60. I'm not entirely certain what that countdown is, but we want to do EWS set min players tutorial, and then we're just going to do 2 so that we can show you guys how this all works. And then we were going to do EWS set full countdown. So once the arena's full, the maximum number of people that have joined and are in the lobby of the arena, that's this countdown. So you want to give players time to select their stuff. So we're going to just do 10 seconds after we put in the tutorial. There we go. And then we want to set the center of it. EWS set center tutorial. And then we want to do EWS set game countdown tutorial. So this is, all right, once they've joined their teams, all that stuff, they get teleported into the arena. They're in their glass boxes waiting to start, and then this countdown. So you don't want to leave it too long, but you want people to be able to kind of like talk to each other, get set up. Now, the next thing we need to do is add more than one team, because right now, if we do EWS teams, where is it? Team list. Tutorial, and it's not actually going to show us anything because we don't have any teams. So EWS team list tutorial, yeah, no teams. So we need to do EWS add team tutorial. So we've added one more team to this, so now we could do EWS team list, and now we could see, actually we need to go through and set all of that up. Now what we need to do is we need to go to, oh geez, we missed it. So now we need to set the villager, so that's where they get their rank or their power-ups and all that stuff. EWS set team villager tutorial 1. Now we want to set the spawn. Now the spawn is where they spawn in to start with. So you want to kind of set this up a little bit higher because it's going to do a glass box around it. And if it overlaps any of the map, it's just going to wipe out that spot. So we want to do EWS set team spawn tutorial 1. So that's team 1. And then we want to set their respawn. So once they die, we're just going to do the respawn right here. EWS set team respawn tutorial 1. It would help if I spelt it right. Then we got to set the egg up. So we're going to do EWS set team egg tutorial 1. So we still only have one team, I think. So we want to do EWS add team tutorial. So there we go. Now that's team 2, which is kind of like the minimum. I'm going to set all this up and then I'll be back with you guys in a moment here. Okay, so now that we have both teams set, we can now actually save the arena, but we're not quite done yet. We need to do a couple more things. We need to set up some generators. I mean, you don't need to, I suppose, but we're going to kind of want to. So we're going to put these like so. We're going to do an iron one right here. And now the way that you set these up is you do egg gen, and then iron, and then the level. So if you put it at 0, that means it's broken. It's not going to be in use. We're going to leave it as 1. Generator created. We're going to do a gold one right here. We're going to do egg gen gold. Now you could change the spawn rates of these in the configuration, which we'll talk about in a moment here. Egg gen, and then diamond, and then we'll show you this one's broken. So that is going to be how all of that stuff is set up. You can also do statistics, and we'll show you guys that in the lobby here once we get back to it. And we cleared all of that out, and we're going to go and save this arena here. Toggle edit mode tutorial. Well, first, before we do that, we're going to do EWS team list tutorial. So now you can see there's 2 teams set up. You can do more than 2 teams. Obviously, I think you can do, I think it's built in to be like 20 teams right off the bat. And then you could even clone your arena. Like if you've built an arena and you're like, we just need more of the same arena, you can actually clone that by doing EWS. I'll show you on the screen. EWS clone arena, and then the name of it, and then the new name of it, whatever the name of the new arena is going to be. So if you just, yeah. Then you do EWS toggle edit mode tutorial. So it actually kicks you out of the game, so you got to reconnect, unfortunately. And then we'll do EW lobby. And we'll go over here. Like I said, you should just reboot your server and then the lobby stuff will work. And now to join that arena, we're going to set this down and we're going to do EggWars. and then the name of the arena, tutorial. Now you can see that we've created that sign. Now a couple things to note here for permissions. You got eggwars.sign.place to allow to place eggwars sign, eggwars.sign.break to break eggwars sign, eggwars.gen.place, eggwars.gen.remove. You know, that's for like modifying those arenas. Eggwars.setup, that allows all of those EWS commands. And then eggwars.command.lobby leave or join allows the use of those selected commands. So you probably want to give those to your default group. And then you got eggwars.stats.place allows you to place a stat sign. All right, so then you want to put your statistic signs down. So we're going to do egg stats, but I think egg head works as well. And then we're going to do wins and then position 1. So player is in first. Obviously, nobody's in first right now, so it's player not found. And then continuing talking about the permission nodes, so you got eggwars.multi. Whatever number 1 through 1,000, and then that is going to be a coin multiplier. So you can either use the built-in game economy or you can use your actual economy if you're using Vault and you've enabled it in the configuration. You'll see that in a minute here. Then you got eggwars.kit.id, and that gives a permission to use that kit. And then you have a free kit.id, and then you have a global chat command, and then a chat color command, and then allows you to open the villager shop. So you have to be sure to set all of these up so that for your default players, so they can access those shops, and it uses these all use the ID that you can find in the configuration file. And then if you give them eggwars.stats, it allows the use of the EW stats command. All right, so you can do one more thing for adding custom items to your kits or to your shops and all that stuff. The author makes it super easy using a built-in item crate. So you want to create your item. This is really basic, just sharpness and named it, and that's it. What you want to do is you want to hold the item that you've created here using whatever it is that you've created item, whatever crazy stuff that you've added to the item, and then you do EWS ER item, and now you're going to find it in a YML file in the config. So let's go ahead, check out the configuration file, and then we'll play test and show you guys how it all works in action here. Okay, so here we are in the server. I am running 1.9. I'm only running a base 1.9. It's a little bit out of date, but it works really well. We're going to hop into our plugins folder, and then we're going to talk about, first I want to point out the language folder that's created here, and then the langs folder, and then you have an EggWars one you can modify. There's a Spanish one in here already created. You can modify the US one, and the main thing to note here is you can actually modify the in-game scoreboard, which is really cool, and you'll see that in a minute, as well as all of the color coding and all of that stuff, which is really great. I love it when that shows up in any plugin. And we want to open up our EggWars, and then we're going to open up our config. So if you want to use the in-game currency, you want to enable Vault. Now this is where you see the Bungie mode, Bungie restart. So when it restarts, it actually just restarts the server, I believe. And then random arena, all that stuff. That's all Bungie stuff. So if you're playing with the Bungie, you can kind of like test that out. But the base thing is you need to run that lobby jar, which is the downloads farther down, or the link is in the gibbles below to download that. Otherwise, it's on the page farther down the list. So team balancing, keep inventory, that's going to be saving the inventory when they join games, I believe. Finish delay, breakable blocks. So if you want players to be able to break any of the blocks in the map, you want to create it as that item ID, which I don't know what 24 is off the top of my head. Then you have your coins for winning on kill, final kill, win, all that stuff. And then you have your main lobby location, which you probably don't want to modify all that. Glass, you can set that to be the color of the team when they're starting. You'll see that in a minute. Now you have your generator. This is going to be how fast it generates items at each level, and then the cost to upgrade it from each level. And so that's 10 iron, something like that. Now here's where all the sign color coding is all set up. This is where the deluxe chat tie-in comes in. And now here's where the shop, so this is the shop ID, so you ought to be able to, you be sure to give them that permissions for that shop ID. Otherwise your players aren't going to be able to open these shops. And these are all the items in the shops. If you want to add a different item, the first thing is going to be the cost of the item. So this is the item ID that it costs, and then the amount that it costs, and then the item ID and the amount of what they get. If you want to use your special item that you've set up in there, you can open up your serial items, and then you copy this over into the shop. And we're going to put that down here. We're just going to make it cost, I think this is iron, I don't remember, 2, and then we'll just call it that and save it. And then that's your serial item. That's that special item that we created. As you create more, though, it'll just create more lines. So keep in mind which one it is. Otherwise, you're going to lose track of that. So that is all the shops. Those are at the bottom there. And that's pretty much it for the config file. Everything else is pretty self-explanatory there. And then we're going to hop over and take a look at the kits. Now, the kits are the same thing. You can do, you can add an item here and do the same thing where you add your serial, or there's a bunch of special items in here, and we'll show you guys that in a second. We're going to call that bridge. Actually, you have to do special, no space though. Now that kit, you're going to get one special bridge item, and then you're also going to get one of that serial number there. And then it's pretty much self-explanatory on here. You have your menu slot, so that's going to show up in the first one. You have your price, which is 0 by default. You can set prices for all of this stuff, but by default there's no price except for the healer and the pyromaniac down here. That's all. It's pretty self-explanatory in all the items and the lore and the stuff that you get. If you set this, the main item is going to be the item that shows up on the menu for that kit, and then you can also specify if it's a specific helmet, then that means it gets put right onto that person's helmet, chest plate, leggings, boots, all that stuff. Pretty straightforward. Now let's go take a look at the special items here. Now this is where it has all the special items. You can tweak these if you'd like. I'm not sure if you can add your own. You might be able to, and you can kind of try that with some of the stuff in here, but that's the name of it, and then that's what we used for calling that, either in the sign shop or the villager shop or the kits, and you guys will see that in a moment. And we added the bridge to the first kit, so that is that. Past that, you don't really want to do too much modifying. You're not going to modify any of the signs because those are just going to be showing up, and that's just so the plugin knows where the signs are. And then you can modify the team names if you'd like in here, and change the colors if you like. There's 25 team names right off the bat, which is really cool. And that's it. So like I said, we did kind of breeze really quickly through the config file. Feel free to pause, rewind, and re-listen to whatever it was I was saying. Be sure to, the author has a lot of great documentation. Let's hop back into the game and show you guys how it all works. Okay, so my trusty sidekick has already joined the arena, so we're going to go ahead and right-click and join him, and we're going to select Builder, because that is going to have those special items that we set up in there. And now we just have to wait for the arena to start. You can see that we don't have any coins. We're going to get some coins for winning or losing, which we're probably going to win this one. And then there's 2 players in the game, which as more people join, and then you can see that it joined the lobby that we set up, and we're just kind of waiting for more players to file in. You can see there's a countdown timer in the experience bar in the bottom, which is really cool. We'll be back with you in 20 seconds here. Okay, so it's counting down here. 3, 2, 1, and now we are in there, and we can select our kits again. We're just going to do that and So now we've got that test item in there, and we got the special item bridge. Now here is our villager shop. We can take a look at all the blocks that we can purchase, which we don't have any items. But here's our generators, our making stuff. We can right click and then we can upgrade this stuff. Which we need 20 iron ingots, which we don't have enough of. And then this one is broken because we set that to level 0. And then I think that if we go into others, we got our special item that we created in there, and it's costing 2 gold. So let's go ahead and push Doppel off here. It looks like he started right on top of his egg, but we're going to go ahead and just kill him because we get some money for that. And there he goes. You can see that we have the custom scoreboard there, and he just respawned in, but we're going to go ahead and kill his egg. We get 30 coins for that, and then we have to eliminate him to finish the match, and then we will win for him dying. And then that is it. Blue team wins. Got a bunch of coins. So now, if we look at the stats over here, looks like player not found still. Not sure what's going on there. I'll annotate and overlay if I figure out what's going on with the stat. Okay, so hopefully you guys found that video helpful. I know it's super long. This plugin is really complicated, but kind of still pretty easy to set up right off the bat. Really cool plugin, very fun game type that's out there. It's very popular, so hopefully you guys have some fun getting it set up, getting the maps created, and all your special items configured. It's super flexible, but I wish you guys the best of luck. So this is Kaz reminding you guys all, enjoy the game. God bless.